Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating Zero, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined as always by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I am Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow.
Hey, I'm Alex, and I play Ruger Firehide.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker, Michael Parker, playing the druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Fantastic. We are joined once again for a tale of epic fantasy. Last episode got pretty dark. We started in a nice light place and then plummeted into the blackest abyss of loss. And today we're going to have to just sort of see if we can fucking punch our way out of it.
Look, I mean, yeah, Hector danced with an older woman, but I don't know if I would describe it that dramatically.
Her lascivious advances, one could see as pretty, dark and dramatic. Did I use that word right? No one correct me.
No one corrected you, but
Fantastic. Lascivious. Look that one up,
we'll leave
kids.
it to the fans.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess let's just get right the fuck into it, because I can't wait to see what Ruger Firehide's going to do in this situation. When last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide went to a wedding. Ruger's ex-wife Shira, the one of the foremost medics in all of Everspring, was marrying the diviner, the mysterious divination spellcaster that supplies information to the lore masters of the College of Everspring. Our heroes were invited to this event to see Shira off proper and also to do some light security work, making sure that there were no problem guests or any drama. There was a drunken Aunt Maria who did not approve of this marriage that Hector valiantly distracted with drinks, dancing, and commiseration. There was a disgruntled bard recently fired from the event who Rilla escorted off the premises after discovering he had attempted to sabotage the orchestra, still signed on to play music. And Zurabak got I was going to say got drunk, but that's not true. Zurabak drank free booze and ate free food while sitting at the bar and staring down his mark, this dwarven merchant named Thaddeus, who he has been stalking for the past week. This nervous little man who had a run-in with a man with a scar on his face. This man with a scar on his face turned up a little later after the wedding ceremony when the lawman Ruger Firehide, speaking with his former son-in-law, Faustin, was drawn off away from the party and ambushed. It would seem that a long-forgotten former ally and criminal mastermind named Jarmax was not only in Everspring, but had staffed the entire wedding with members of his gang. Every caterer and bartender in the entire wedding was actually working for this criminal mastermind. Each one of them armed with a poisoned dagger and given orders to lash out at all of the guests at this wedding should the signal be given by Jarmax.
Can I just say that as somebody that has worked in the catering industry for many years, the notion of getting an entire catering staff on the same page on like an assassination plot is utter fantasy. And I, it's the suspension of my
Yeah.
disbelief is in jeopardy here. I just have
Well,
to
I don't
say.
buy into the narrative at all.
Well,
really.
Brian, if I could counter that and try to get you back into the fold here, I did not say that this entire catering company was turned into a gang. This is a gang masquerading as a catering company, and so it's a little more believable.
Look, I know how all catering companies actually work, which is that they are all gangs. I'm just saying.
So, lured by his son-in-law, Ruger was pulled into an ambush, drawn away from the wedding party, the dancing, the drinking, and taken to a basement of a trading house about a block away, where he was strapped to a chair, stripped of his clothing and all of his possessions, and Jarmax revealed an ancient grudge that he was now taking vengeance on. All of Ruger's possessions were taken from him and burned in front of his face, including the cherry on top, the bow that Ruger gifted his daughter Navi, which was buried with her in the town of Grimm's Hollow, where she passed. After this horrifically nefarious act, Jarmax laid bare his plan for Ruger to make a choice. And I guess we'll start there. While not a block and a half away, the courtyard before the Diviner's Tower is thronged with nobles, with merchants, with students and faculty from the college drinking, dancing, cavorting, and feasting. Ruger, you are locked in a set of manacles which are bolted to a heavy wooden chair in the middle of an almost empty basement. The only features in this room are a pair of torches burning fitfully in wall sconces on either side of you, 4 well-muscled goons wearing catering clothing, and Jarmax, a short, wide man with a thick neck and a scar down the side of his face, who is staring daggers at you as he once again lays bare his intentions. Well, Firehide, this has been fun. I have to say, the look on your face was almost worth it. It was almost enough to keep me satisfied. But, like I said, this isn't the end. This ends when you make your decision, Firehide. Now, I've burned everything you own, every scrap of clothing, every possession, every bit of gold you have is now mine. Everything you own in this world belongs to me. You've lost everything, but there's still always more to lose. So once again, here's the deal, because I'm a fair man, if nothing else. You got 2 options. Now that I've burned everything you own, now that I've burned your daughter's bow, now that you know I dug up the bones of your dead kid, here are the choices before you. Now I'm gonna have my boys unlock your manacles, all right? You can come after me with the fury of a grieving father and rip me apart with your bare hands. But if you do that, if you get your vengeance, every single caterer and bartender at that party is going to draw their steel and start laying in to every single guest they can get their hands on. I promise you, one of them's going to get to the new blushing bride. Or you can let me go. You can watch me walk out of here knowing what I just did and what I just cost you. The wedding will go by just fine. All your loved ones, all your friends, all the people in this town will go unharmed, but you won't get your vengeance. So, the choice is yours, Firehide. You want revenge, or do you want the safety of your friends and family? Cut to the party, not a block and a half away. Rilla, Hector, Zurabak, you guys are hanging out, having a party. Rilla and Hector, you are fancifully dressed in designer outfits made by the renowned Charissa Lamstrand. Rilla in a beautiful black cocktail dress accented with black peacock feathers. And Hector in a tight-fitting vest and pants lined with cheetah fur. Hector, what are you doing at this moment?
I'm dancing with Aunt Maria.
Aunt Maria is clinging to you with an uncomfortable ferocity, a thirst, you might say. And she keeps running her finger down your exposed chest of the deep V in your vest, and like murmuring very uncomfortably. Just Rilla, what are you doing?
Rilla is dancing with a cocktail. That's her partner. Just dancing by herself.
Yeah,
Spins.
Rilla's pulling the single mom dancing in front of the stage at the county fair. Love it all day. You are sashaying back and forth with untold grace. Zurabak, what are you doing?
Staring deeply.
You're staring at Thaddeus, your mark.
Yes.
It is because you were staring so intently at Thaddeus that you were able to clearly see his latest course of action. He's been nervous and sweating the entire time he's been at this wedding. Absolutely aware, by your own design, of your presence and your undivided attention. And you see him walk over to one of the caterers, holding a silver tray full of glasses of bubbly champagne. The caterer bends down, and Thaddeus whispers something into his ear, and you see Thaddeus hand him a vial, a pitch black vial of some incredibly dark liquid. The caterer looks completely unsurprised and stone-faced, takes the vial from Thaddeus, and upends it into one of the glasses of champagne, which turns a neon green immediately. The caterer then follows Thaddeus's pointing finger as he indicates you, Zurabak, sitting at the bar, enjoying probably your 2,000th drink, and the caterer walks directly over to you with this neon green champagne glass. A few patrons at the party between you and the caterer reach for some of these glasses on the tray. He allows the untainted glasses to be taken, but slaps the hands away of everyone trying to reach for that last glass. And he approaches you, staring you dead in the eye, and says, "Sir, drink for you. Compliments of the gentleman across the party."
Sure.
And he holds out the tray.
I stare directly at Thaddeus, and I drink it.
Zurabak, you grab this glass, which is a shining neon green, bubbling with small wisps of smoke hovering over it, and you upend it in one go. I'm going to need you to roll me a fortitude saving throw against poison.
Adverse poison, you say? 28.
Damn.
You quaff this tainted champagne, and this is a new kind of poison. You've actually never tasted this before. Having grown up in the swamp with your crazy snake blood, you are no stranger to venom of every kind and every shade, and this is some shit you've never even tasted. It's got a strange minty quality to it, like a cooling burn, and it makes the drink surprisingly refreshing. And of course has no fucking impact on your befouled blood as you drink it down.
I look to the waiter. That's not snake. What is that? That's good.
The caterer goes chalk white. His eyes go wide as dinner plates, and he stares at you with his mouth agape, uncomprehendingly, and says, "That was just champagne. That's all that was, sir."
So you're lying to me. I grab him by his throat.
Do I see this?
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay.
Let me tell a narrative, Brian. Trust me.
The PC's gotta ask.
You grab this caterer by the throat, and several of the partygoers next to you at the bar gasp, Zurabak, and step away from you. And of course, Hector and Rilla, you hear a kerfuffle going on at the bar, and you see Zurabak throttling a caterer. What do you do?
You poisoned me and won't even tell me what flavor it is?
Hector respectfully peels Aunt Maria off of himself.
Gonna need you to roll me a grapple check, bud. She's clung tight.
God damn it, Maria.
I rolled pretty low, so 18.
Yeah, she rolled a 5, so you were able to gracefully twist yourself out of her grasp, make it look like a dance move. You like half dip her and then just fucking run in the opposite direction. Rilla, what do you do?
I drink all of my drink in one gulp and then hand it to the nearest person who's probably not a caterer, and I don't care. And I glide
Yeah, you
on
thrust
over.
it in the hand of some like tenured professor at
The bride.
Yeah, you throw it into Shira's hand, who raises a questioning eyebrow at you as you two rush over. And yeah, you see Zurabak like throttling a caterer, yelling about poison.
What's going on over here?
This puny man won't tell me what he poisoned me with. It tasted minty.
It was just champagne, I promise. Please, get him off me.
Champagne doesn't taste minty, does it? Did you guys ruin champagne too out here?
No, the poison was minty. The champagne was already awful.
Right. Zurabak, can you just, for now, set him down, and then let's figure out what happened?
Oh, I know what happened. I just throw the man to the ground, and I go after Thaddeus.
Okay.
Okay, quick as a blink, Zurabak drops the caterer just as you ask Hector, and then he turns on a dime and stalks directly through the party, straight towards a profusely sweating, balding dwarf man who is now screaming audibly and running full speed in the opposite direction.
You won't escape me!
Hector at first goes to follow Zurabak, but when he sees a sweating dwarf running away from him, I'm actually going to specifically chase Thaddeus and try and catch up to him before Zurabak can.
Rilla, what are you doing?
I hand the caterer a gold and tell him that he should probably leave the party, like, now. It's for the best, man. Just, I don't know, go hide in a barrel? Get out of here.
We gotta stop tipping these caterers. We gotta use our meta knowledge to stop tipping
Dramatic
these
irony,
caterers.
shut your mouth. Rilla, do you go after them?
I mean, Hector's got it, but I follow. I'm not gonna run. I'm in a nice dress.
Okay, so Thaddeus awkwardly pushes his way through the throng of this party, heading to the catering tents towards the back of the fray. And following resolutely right after him is Zurabak, the crowd parting because of the look on Zurabak's face and, a little bit because of the smell, with Hector right behind him and Rilla sashaying afterwards. Zurabak, are you just chasing him, or are you utilizing any abilities or anything?
Let the little man flee. I'll find him.
You say?
All right. Hector, are you fucking Jason Voorhees stalking this guy, or are you sprinting after him to try to snatch him up?
I'm sprinting.
Okay. So as Zurabak stalks like a serial killer and Rilla just sort of, ambles, Hector, you hustle through the crowd after Thaddeus. Roll me a dexterity check, please.
10.
Okay, Thaddeus got a fucking 1. So with your swift barbarian speed and your grace moving through this crowd of people, even though Thaddeus had quite the
To be fair, he's been hopped up on fear all night.
yeah, no, he's definitely fight or flight. He is manic and sprinting, but even with the lead he had, Hector, you are swiftly able to, probably because of the cheetah print, catch up to him just as he's getting inside the flap of the catering tents. The second you reach him, he spins and pulls out a thin-bladed dagger that is coated with some sticky green substances. Get away from me! Get away from me! Don't touch me! And we're going to cut there.
Wait. If I see Hector trying to get to him, it's like, that's my prey! And then Zurabak moves faster.
Okay. Zurabak, not to be outdone, catches up to you, Hector, and Thaddeus just as he gets inside the tent flap. And so Thaddeus spins on the both of you with a knife, panicking. Get away from me! Don't touch me! He said I'd be safe! He said no one would know!
You'll never be safe from me.
And we're going to cut to a block and a half away in a grimy basement. Ruger Firehide, you are strapped to this chair. Jarmax looks at you with a shit-eating grin on his face and says, So, Firehide, you're about to be a free man one way or the other. I'm wondering what's going through that head of yours. Do you even know what you're going to do?
I have a pretty good idea, Jarmax. Well, I think I'll start by extending to you a thank you, gratitude for the gift that you've given me, Jarmax. You see, as despicable as digging up a man's daughter is, in so doing, you did me a favor. You took that bow, something that I put there, that I buried there, selfishly, and you burned it. And you gave it back to Navi, where she needs it most. And more so than that, Jarmax, I realized something as I watched my belongings burn, as I watched you burn that bow. I realized something else that you took from me. I want to hate you. I want to rage at you. But as it turns out, I don't have any rage left. I ain't got nothing for you, Jarmax. You're an insignificant man, a backwater gangster. And at this point, I've been chosen to walk a different path. You, quite frankly, just don't matter.
Jarmax looks a little crestfallen at that. He withers a bit at your words and says, interesting. All right, taking the high road, I see. Fine. That's fine. I got what I wanted. You lost everything you had. Sounds like you lost your backbone, too. So, I guess I'll take credit for that as well. Go ahead. Let him go, boys. If he's going to pick the path of the light, that's just fine by me. And one of his goons comes over from the shadows of the corner of the room, and with a large skeleton key, one by one removes all of the cold iron manacles holding you at wrist and ankle, and undoes the chain around your waist, freeing you from this chair. What do you do?
I rub my wrists and then stand stark naked, and I look around at the men in the room around me, and I say, any fellas got a cigarette?
Can you believe this guy? Rocco, can you believe this guy? Can I believe? Shut up, Rocco.
Poor Rocco.
You get no cigarettes, Firehide. That's sort of not the point of the exercise. But I do appreciate the balls it takes to ask for one. This didn't go exactly how I planned. But at least I got my revenge and I get to leave town. And perhaps the best part is, the part I didn't tell you, is I'm leaving on your fucking horse. So go have fun walking through the streets naked, but I'm riding out of here on the back of Cole. So have a good one, Firehide. Be well. And he snaps his fingers and says, boys, we're leaving. And Jarmax turns on a heel, and his four goons follow him up the stairs, out of the hatch, and out of the basement, leaving you alone. What do you do?
Okay, so there is nothing in this basement that I can immediately use for modesty's sake, is that correct?
Unfortunately, no. Almost by design. Every scrap of...
Hey, there's ash, isn't there?
That's okay. That's
Want
no,
some
I'm
Kratos
not.
shit? What the fuck?
Damn, good reference. I think Ruger's gonna have to just go full on Hector the Gatekeeper and just march out of that basement and back generally towards the wedding. You know, buck naked and proud. So
Your
head
bare
held high. I march up now. I know there were tents earlier. Like, I am looking to solve the nudity problem, but
I gotcha.
I'm not scrambling. I'm not
Sure,
in a hurry. I'm not panicking,
Yeah.
frolicking from bush to bush. Like,
sure.
I'm just marching
Yeah,
back
let's not
towards-
get ahead of ourselves. Let me set the scene. Your bare feet slap against the cold stone of this basement and up the stairs, out the trap door that leads in here, and you find your way out to the street. The street leading to the wedding. And yeah, without any hesitation, without any shame or anxiety, without any rush, you slowly make your way down the street to the raucous sounds of a wedding. And as you walk resolutely, naked as the day you were born, a solitary shaft of sunlight seems to shine down through the clouds overhead and bathes you in a radiant light. And you feel a sense of peace that you haven't felt in quite a while as you walk stark naked back to the wedding. Hey there, listeners. It's Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I have some exciting news. We here at Challenge Rating Zero have our very first sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Find them on South Grand or at their new location on Cherokee Street. Or, for those of you listeners not living in St. Louis, Missouri, find them at shopapotheosis.com. Voted St. Louis's best comic book store twice over by the Riverfront Times, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge should be your one-stop shop for comics, graphic novels, D&D swag, and more. Not only can you find the latest titles from your favorite superheroes, but you can do so with a cold, locally sourced beer from your favorite St. Louis breweries. That's right. Not only can you find comics and cold beers at Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, but you might also come across yours truly, running one of my favorite role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons. Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, the latest and greatest sponsor of the latest and greatest D&D podcast, Challenge Rating Zero. Check them. Quick jump to Zurabak and Hector. You are standing in front of Thaddeus, who is wielding a knife covered in some nasty goo and looks completely petrified and panicked. He is holding it out in a shaking hand and pointing it first to one.
Hector's going to try and grab his hand and make that
screaming for you to
knife
get
not
back.
be an issue anymore.
Okay.
Disarm attempt.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Post attack rolls. Hey, do you have improved disarm?
I don't.
That's going to be an attack of opportunity. So let me do that real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, Thaddeus, fuck. God damn it.
Don't forget he's also fairly fearful.
He's absolutely shaken, for sure. Yeah, Thaddeus got an 8 on an attack roll because he sucks. So as you close it on Thaddeus, he tries desperately to slash at you with this knife. And misses completely. And you go to grab his wrist. Now let's roll opposed attack rolls as you try to disarm this panicked gnome. Or dwarf.
Now a knife is going to be a light weapon, so he's going to take a -4, just as I'm going to take a -4 for being unarmed.
Fantastic.
So everyone's taking
even Stevens.
Big, yeah. 14.
I rolled a 1. Oh boy, this guy.
Man, Thaddeus just can't get a break.
Yeah, Hector, while you're coming in to like grab his wrist, as he slashes at you defensively, as you grab his arm and wring this blade out of his hands, his eyes never leave Zurabak, and he is shaking like a leaf in the wind. He is so full of terror, it's like taking a bit of yarn from a kitten. There's almost no resistance.
Yeah, Hector just like grabs his wrist with one hand, quickly pulls the knife out of his hand with the other, and then casually pockets it. Just like, all right, look, dude, you gotta calm down.
This is about the time, Rilla, you get to the tent, and you see that Hector is disarming this horrifically frightened dwarf and taking a dagger out of his hands. And he says, "Let me go! Get off of me! He said no one would know. He said I'd be safe. This isn't fair. I wasn't supposed to go down for this. I just got the poison. I wasn't supposed to go down for this." He like sags in your grip, Hector, and he looks at Zurabak. "How did you know? You've been following me for a week. How did you know? Who are you?"
What flavor was the poison?
It's wyvern blood.
It tasted delicious.
That doesn't make any sense. What's happening?
And then Zurabak turns around and leaves.
Excellent.
What poison? Sorry, what?
The poison on the daggers. The poison that the caterers have. And just as he says that, walking into this tent, blocking your exit, Zurabak, about 5 of these caterers, large men and women, start rolling up the sleeves on their jackets, their white jackets, revealing these leather bracers. And from these leather bracers, they pull knives that look just like the one that Hector just took off of Thaddeus. And they all say, one of them comes forward and says, "Now, Thaddeus, you know what the penalty is for snitches." And they close the flap behind them, closing you all in.
No, you either get me more poison or you die.
Ruger, this is about the time you enter in the other end of this catering tent. As you pull a flap aside, you see inside this tent a very confusing scene. Hector is holding in his grip the wrist of this scrawny dwarven merchant who is sweating and screaming. Rilla and Zurabak are towards the farther end of the tent and are blocked off by 5 large, well-muscled caterers who have all rolled up the sleeves of their white coats and have pulled from leather bracers they're wearing underneath daggers, obviously drenched in this poison. You are all in this tent, the flaps are closed, and you are currently walled in by these 5 caterers. Let's roll initiative.
Ooh. I want Ruger to do the thing where he opens up the tent and looks in and goes, "Oh, wrong tent." And then closes it. And then, like, takes like a step or two away. And then it's like, "Ah, shit." And turns back towards the tent.
Fantastic. So. Perfect. All right, rolling for initiative. Ooh. All right, Hector, what'd you get?
I got 15.
All right, Rilla, what'd you get?
8.
Zurabak, what'd you get?
I rolled a 17, so 17.
Okay, and Ruger, what'd you get?
I also got a 15. My modifier is 2.
Hector, what's your modifier?
1.
Okay. Ruger first. Okay. For once in my career as a dungeon master, the caterers go first. I get to do the bad guys' turn first. I'm so excited.
Yay!
All right. So, these caterers look at you all with like a grim determination on their faces. They sort of share glances between them and they sigh. They say, "Jarmax is gonna be pissed, but we gotta take out this snitch. And, well, we're gonna see what these protagonists are made of." And
Sam, real quick.
What's up?
I need the stats on the knife.
It is a standard dagger. It has some poison on it. You don't know what it does. It's a masterwork dagger. It's a masterwork dagger. It has poison on it that you don't know the effects of.
Well, we know it's wyvern and it tastes like mint, so you know that.
That's true. I don't know that. I was not there for that, but
Zurabak enjoys the taste. You know that.
That's true. For once, we have carrot for Zurabak.
You are in a large white canvas tent. There are wooden crates full of straw and glass champagne bottles. There are stacks of oaken casks for booze and a bunch of champagne glasses, wine glasses, and like pewter mugs. It seems like this is the drink tent, and there's some fine dwarven spirits just to the left of you. So there's a lot of flammable shit in this tent. Let's see.
Sounds fun.
Indeed. These caterers, so there are 5 of these goons, and Rilla and Zurabak are the closest ones to them. Let's see. 2 of these goons are going to lunge forward towards Zurabak, swinging their daggers, hoping to hit him with this poison. Well, the first one got a 13 on their attack roll.
That's a hit.
And the second one got a critical.
Also probably a hit.
Yep, rolling to confirm. That's a 15 to confirm.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, you get hit by the first knife. That is going to be 4 points of damage.
And I assume 2 fortitude saves?
Yeah, give me the first fortitude save against poison for this first hit.
26 and 25 is the second one. And how much damage you said? 4 from the first one?
Yeah, 4 from the first one. And the second dagger with that crit does 9 points of damage. So these 2 lunge directly at you, Zurabak. They drive their daggers home into your half-orc flesh. Just one bites deeply into your shoulder. The other goes low and jabs you in the thigh on the opposite side. And they try to put all their weight behind the blow. The poison, of course, pumps through your veins and has no effect because of your just putrid blood. So you are fine. Rilla, 2 of these people are coming after you. Just going to roll attack rolls for them. So one of them got a critical 1, a complete failure. They swipe at you, and you're able to twist out of the way at the last second. The other one got a critical hit.
Ooh.
I'm going to roll to confirm that. Ooh, that is a dirty 20 to confirm.
Sure does.
So really, you get hit 1 time with a crit from this poisoned dagger. That's max damage. That's 10 points of damage from this knife. And you need to roll me a fortitude saving throw against poison.
I got a 22.
Holy shit!
I rolled an 18. I got real lucky.
Yeah, you're good. Fantastic. Yeah. So, really, you dance out of the way of one of these knives, but the second one does come in. You get stabbed in your side pretty deep. It does not feel good. It's not a large blade, but they get right in there. You, take a half step back from the force of the blow, and this poison starts acting up in your system, but you are able to overcome its effects. You are not, injured.
I sniff my wound. Does it smell like mints?
There is a slight minty smell.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Zurabak. I see what you're talking about there.
You say
It made the undrinkable champagne passable.
I love the banter while you have knives inside of your bodies. The last goon is going to go wide around the flank, and he's just going to try to murder Thaddeus. He's going to swing his dagger at the dwarf. Let's see.
No.
Oh, he got a
He's mine to kill.
He got a 21, which is definitely a hit. And he does some damage. And Thaddeus is going to roll a saving throw. He is a dwarf, so he has some saves against poison. But Thaddeus rolled a 1 on his saving throw against his own fucking poison.
You need to retire that dice, man.
Oh my goodness.
No, he's just going to retire Thaddeus.
Oh my goodness. Thaddeus is felled immediately. Yeah, the fifth caterer swings wide around the side as the first 4 grapple with Rilla and Zurabak and just drives his dagger directly into the heart of Thaddeus, like wrenching it back and forth as he drives him out of Hector's grip and to the floor. And Thaddeus like immediately starts convulsing. He starts foaming at the mouth. His skin turns purple. His tongue swells up surprisingly quickly, and he is dead within seconds. The caterer that killed him, this powerfully built blonde woman with a ponytail, looks up at you, Hector, and says, "Your neck, sugar." And that is the bad guy's turn. Next up is Zurabak. Zurabak, there's 2 goons with knives inside of your body right now. What do you do?
Ignore them
Okay, what do you do?
and go straight for the blonde woman. He was mine to murder!
What are you attacking her with?
Well, since everyone's got a knife, it's a knife party. I'm pulling out that nice obsidian dagger.
Oh, God! Not the MacGuffin! Parker!
Zurabak's, he likes it.
Did you have anyone cast... No one's cast Identify on this fucking item yet, either. Great. Yeah. Roll an attack roll and tell me what your stats would give you, and I'll add what requisite stats the obsidian dagger has.
Let's see. Am I flanking with Hector out of curiosity?
For sure, yeah. Fuck it.
Would it just be my spear effectively to hit? Yes, it would. All right.
Yeah, base attack plus strength.
25, 26, 27 to hit.
That is absolutely a hit. You lurch forward.
Would you like me to roll the d4?
Yes.
2 plus 5, whatever 2 plus 5 is. 7.
Excellent. Yeah, you rush forward, screaming in rage that your mark has been taken from you, and you drive your obsidian dagger into this woman's back as she's staring up, threatening Hector. You can tell that this woman is wearing some leather armor underneath her catering uniform. It offers absolutely no fucking resistance whatsoever. You slice through this armor like fucking cheesecloth and cut a surprisingly wide gash in her back. She shrieks in pain and tries to lurch away from you with the ferocity of your blow. Yeah, and you seriously fuck this woman up. She is bloodied, terrible blow as you slash across her back, and she is not having a good time.
You gonna give me attacks of opportunity on me?
Yes, you are going to take 2 attacks of opportunity from the goons you just ran directly away from. They are going to swing their daggers at you, and they both hit. Neither of them are criticals, and you're going to take 4 points of damage from the first dagger and 5 points of damage from the second dagger.
Okay, and the poison saves are 21 and 22.
You are totally in the clear. You shrug off this venom like nothing. If anything, it's almost like a topical analgesic, and the like minty freshness is like soothing to your ruined swamp blood. And yeah, that is your turn, Zurabak. You completely ignore the frenzied slashing of the goons in front of you and turn like a rage monster to take out this woman that stole your kill. That makes it Ruger Firehide. Now, the rest of you are too busy fighting these caterers to have noticed Ruger coming in. And thankfully, Ruger, the caterers have not noticed you coming in either. You came in at the other side of this tent flap. Everyone's about 20 feet away from you on the other side of some crates that are about, for decency's sake, we'll say belly button height. And yeah, what do you do?
All right, so none of the standing bad guys have noticed me yet.
That is correct.
Is there one within my movement distance where I could remain unseen?
If you want to roll a hide check to sort of creep around the edge of some of these crates of wine glasses, you totally could.
Hey, that is 21.
Fuck yeah. Let's see. You are completely undetected. You slip silently on your bare feet, padding around the perimeter of this tent, and yeah, at the end of your movement, you are standing right behind one of the goons that is slashing at Rilla.
All right, so at this point, I'm going to completely unarmed and completely altogether naked. So I'm just gonna sucker punch it, dude. I'm gonna.
What was it? the flesh. He's completely something and completely naked. Kablam!
Oh my God. Yeah. God, Parker, that's
Wow.
such a deep pull. Kablam! The flesh. He's super strong and super naked.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Parker. Thunder Girl, she flies like thunder. We all remember Kablam.
Meltman with the power to melt.
And Stinky Diver. 90s kids will love this.
Well, I mean, they love the Gargoyles podcast, so they have to love this.
All right, so Alex, since you are hidden, they will not get an attack of opportunity on you for fighting unarmed, and you going to throw some stank on this?
Also, just to be clear, I do have improved unarmed strikes, so they would not get the attack.
Oh, bitchin'.
Either way.
Forgive
I also
me.
get
Yeah,
to do
you're
lethal damage with this here haymaker. Yeah. So is this a human?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So then that is a 24 instead of a dirty 20 on my attack roll.
I don't want to lead your character, Alex, but did you maybe want to throw a smite on that punch?
Yeah, okay, I could smite. I could smite a guy. I
don't want to lead you, but sneaking
It
up
would be
naked
my
on a bad
first-
guy and smiting them with your bare fucking hands
Keep
sounds pretty
forgetting
dope.
I'm a paladin, and currently I'm like roguing it. so I
You
don't
just
know
did a
what's
whole
happening.
thing in the
It's fine.
basement.
But
No,
the
I do
skills.
love that our paladin is the stealthy one, our bard's the frontline fighter, the druid's the token evil, and the sorcerer is the team archer.
So with a smite, you're going to add your charisma modifier to your attack roll, and you're going to add your paladin levels to your damage.
Yeah. What do I roll for the actual unarmed strike? Is it just 1d4?
Roll a d4. If you get a 4, it's 1d3. So just roll a d4 and don't accept a 4.
Okay, well I got a 3.
Fantastic. So 3 plus your strength mod, plus your smite.
Which is you said charisma modifier?
No, your paladin levels is added to the damage.
Okay, same thing as it turns out. 3 plus 3 plus 2 equals 8.
You sneak around the side of these crates. You come up right behind one of these caterers that is menacing Rilla, and you stand up and you cold cock this sucker right in the side of his fucking head. Your fist shines for just a moment with blinding divine light as you channel the wrath of the god of heroes, Protos, into your strike. You've never felt a more solid blow in your entire life. You just did max damage with an unarmed smite. You rock this dude on his fucking heels. He reels backwards. Is there any extra damage for it being a human?
Shit. Yes, it actually is. Plus 4. So that's 12 points of damage.
Yeah. This motherfucker's bloodied. With your divine punch, you hit him right on the fucking button, and his eyes cross. He stumbles like his feet crossing and wavers drunkenly from the might of your blow. This motherfucker is bloodied, rocked completely, and Rilla, you see. Well, all of you now see Ruger Firehide, naked as a jaybird, punching the shit out of one of these caterers. All right, Hector, the gatekeeper, keeper of the gates. What do you got?
Hector looks down at the fallen body of Thaddeus and then looks up at the blonde woman who is being attacked from the other side by Zurabak and just growls, "You shouldn't have done that." I'm going to start raging.
Yes.
And then poetically, I'm going to attempt to stab Thaddeus's poison dagger into her body.
Excellent. Yeah, you grip the dagger you just took off of Thaddeus and swipe. This is the shit I love. When you guys don't have your weapons, you just gotta use whatever's around. This is a knife fight in a catering tent. This is awesome.
At first I was going to ask if it was like reasonable for me to have brought my weapon, but then I realized, yeah, it's a lot more interesting and fun that...
Yeah, I mean, Zurabak has a spear, but it is a knife fight.
Yeah, it's a knife fight. 23 on the
That is
attack.
absolutely a hit on this caterer.
So that's going to be a D4
Yep.
is a dagger, right? Okay.
Yep. 1d4 plus your newly enhanced raging strength.
9 points of damage.
Excellent. You drive your dagger deep into the right into the collarbone of this woman, and you drive it all the way to the fucking hilt. Her knees buckle under the force of your blow, and just as Thaddeus did not a moment ago, she starts foaming at the mouth, quaking. She turns purple, her tongue swells up, and she dies in nearly instantly from this horrific poison. Just starts flopping on the ground. You have slain one of these goons. Nicely done. There are 4 remaining.
If I got her in one attack, then I will use movement to move just a little bit. Not all the way up to, but a little bit closer to the other guys.
Gotcha. Hector, you dispatch this woman in front of you, and you take a step over to the other goons. Nicely done. That is your turn. Rilla Longshadow, sorceress of the Springvale Forest. There are 2 goons in front of you. One of them just got rocked by Ruger. One of them just stabbed you. What do you got?
Let's make it a party, says Rilla, and cast a fireball to hit as many as we can.
Oh, God.
Rilla, you are...
It's gonna be beautiful, Sam.
Rilla,
all the explosions.
Here's the thing. You are all clumped together in a cluster. This is a tussle where everyone's mixed up. You're all bunched together. So if you want to hit...
There's no way I can throw it slightly outside of the tent. It has to...
And hit party goers?
You are
not in the caterers' tents, and the caterers are clearly evil, so I don't care about them anymore.
Beth, I will say this. You can throw a fireball. If you want to throw it so you hit just the goons and none of your companions, you can hit about 3 of them. You will have to throw it in such a way that you will endanger people outside of this tent.
You never let me use fireball. It's my only a tacky level.
You
3.
can use fireball whenever you want. There's just repercussions. This is a close quarters knife fight.
Yeah, with repercussions and not murdering my friends.
Do it if you want. I am outlining the potential ramifications. The choice is yours.
The power is yours.
Indeed.
Like just hit me, or how? No, we're worried about partygoers outside. How drunk is Rilla right now? Probably pretty drunk, right?
You were dancing with your drink.
Oh, fuck, I want to do it.
Then do it. If you're gonna drop it, drop it. Don't give me this hemming and hawing shit. I told you the ramifications. What do you do?
Do you hem or do you haw?
Yeah, Rilla's drunk. She cackles and casts a fireball. That's what happens.
Fantastic. You fling your hand outward. A small mote of flame appears in your outstretched palm and whizzes past the head of the 2 gentlemen in front of you and smashes to the ground just outside the tent flap, whizzing through the small parting in the tent. And then there is a horrid rushing sound as an explosion of flame rips through the tent flaps, instantly catching them on fire, roiling just up to the backs of the 3 goons on this side of the fray. You hear some screaming from outside the tent, and many of the crates of liquor and wine glasses catch on fire as well. Roll damage for your fireball.
Well, they get reflex saving, so it's a DC.
I'm taking care of that. You roll damage for your fireball.
Okay.
Those are some dead commoners.
I can't find my bag o' dice, so I'm going to use the Google. Hang on.
Oh, God.
You fucking noobs. Every goddamn time.
I don't know where my Crown Royal went, okay? I've just got my 1 set, so hang on.
For the listeners at home, Beth can't roll her dice unless she's drunk on Crown Royal. So now you can sort of understand what we've been dealing with here.
Okay, that's 21 points of fire damage.
Holy shit.
God damn it.
You completely annihilate 3 of these goons with the fireball. You annihilate the 2 motherfuckers that stabbed at you, Rilla, including the one that Ruger cold-cocked. They are completely vaporized, wreathed in flame. A 3rd one got their saving throw, so let's see. There are 2 goons left. One of them is bloodied from a fucking fireball. And yeah, the tent, the canvas tent you're standing in, is now on fire. The crates around you are on fire. Everything is burning all around you guys immediately as soon as this goes off. And Rilla is cackling all the while.
You're welcome.
Well, now I think that was a bit over the top.
This is the time to be over the top. We're at a wedding. Let's make some scenes.
So the remaining 2 caterers are going to look around at the burning tent all around them in abject horror, and they're going to try to muscle their way out of the tent. They're going to tactically retreat. They say, "I'm not going to die for this." "Yeah, neither am I." And they turn tail and run. They use their turns to withdraw from the combat, and they both put their arms over their heads and run through the burning tent flap, leaving you all behind them. And because they withdraw, there's no attacks of opportunity on this particular movement. Outside the tent, you hear screaming, some clashing, like glasses are being knocked over, and you hear a familiar, deep voice ringing out from outside the tent flap. "Someone get some water! We've got to put this fire out! What the hell's going on?" As Captain Kurz apparently tries to organize some sort of response to this. That makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, the tent you're in is on fire. Roiling smoke is coming up from all the crates, and liquor all around you in the tent above you is burning. What do you do?
Did those cowards just flee?
They ran out of the burning tent flaps that you all came through.
Oh yeah, Zurabak's going after the murder.
Fantastic. Zurabak, you walk forward out of these burning tent flaps, and you see Bedlam. In, I'd say, about a 20-foot radius outside of this tent, the paving stones of this courtyard are scorched from flame. There's a few barrels that have caught fire. A couple of chairs are burning on the very edge of this flame, and you see about 4 more caterers who are burnt to a crisp. One of whom is like writhing on the ground still on fire. And as you get out here, you see that every single person in a white jacket is fleeing in every direction, surging out of this party. Every caterer, every bartender has seemingly dropped what they are doing. It is fucking bedlam out here. Every single person, all of the guests are screaming and running around, trying to get away from this press of people as the hundreds, I believe I said, of catering staff just en masse surge outward in every direction, shoving people over as they try to flee the scene. The 2 you are looking for are but 15 feet away from you as you leave the tent flap, so you got enough movement to get to them.
Yep, I do the stabby stab.
Sweet. You rush up to one and lash out with your dagger. Let's say this is the bloodied one that got scorched from the fireball. Go ahead and roll damage. Or roll your attack roll, I mean.
Oh. Does a 14 confirm a critical?
14 with that dagger against this enemy does confirm a critical, yes. If you're using the fucking obsidian dagger from the heart of the Isle of Garu, yes.
Yeah, Zurabak's personal dagger now. What of it?
It's gonna use this thing to fucking peel apples.
Let's see. 2 plus 5, 7.
7 points of damage.
Yep.
With the extra features of that dagger that I know about and you don't, you completely murder that motherfucker. You rush up and your obsidian dagger slips with almost no resistance into the back of this fleeing caterer who looks back at you with his eyes wide with terror before you sever his spine and he collapses to the paving stones. Yeah, you completely dispatch that goon. Nicely done. Ruger Firehide, it is your turn. You are in a nightmare. You are completely naked, surrounded by burning crates, barrels, and a burning tent. You are completely nude in a burning tent. What do you do?
I channel the inner peace that I've been feeling for some time, and I survey my surroundings, and I just sort of take them in. And I casually walk towards the sound of Kerr's voice, which I assume is outside the flaps of the... So I just kind of casually walk through the fire and out into the street beyond, and I assume I see the dead bodies on the ground.
Yeah, you
and
see everything that I just
Yeah.
described to Zurabak.
So I assess that no body needs my paladin's healing touch. And yeah, I go looking for Curse.
You spot him quickly. He is one of the tallest people at this entire gathering, and he's, not wearing his plate armor like he normally does, but he's wearing a lovely, like, cloth of gold and silver, like, military coat with these lovely gold epaulets. He stands out beautifully in this crowd, and he's already
Does he
got
have a cloak or a cape or a half cape?
He has a half cape, absolutely.
Fantastic.
He is calling to his side a bunch of what looks like town guards. Dwarves from Grotmire in their lacquered red armor are swarming around him, as well as a couple of knights from the Order of the Quill. And yeah, they are grabbing casks of water from like behind the bar. Two of them are like seems like they grabbed like a horse trough from just outside the party, and they're all rushing towards this tent to try to put it out. What do you do?
I walk up to Curse.
Yeah.
And without asking, take that half cape off of him and wrap it around my waist. Practicing a little bit of modesty.
Kurz visibly blushes as you approach him stark naked, and says, Firehide, it's good to see you. I guess all of your clothes got burned in that explosion. That's tough luck.
Yeah, real tough luck. If you don't mind, Curse, I'm just gonna borrow this here, and I'm just gonna tie this right around. Okay, feel better now, buddy?
Yes, I feel much better. After we get the fire out, you're gonna need to tell me what the fuck is going on. And as soon as he gets done saying that, you hear a very familiar voice say, "Yeah, I think I'd like to know what the fuck is going on at my wedding too, Ruger. All I asked for was one peaceful day, and now you're naked as a jaybird burning shit down." That's gonna bring us to Hector. Hector the gatekeeper. You are raging. You're holding a poison dagger. You're inside the burning tent. What do you do?
Yeah, I was gonna have Hector run to help with the fire, but you're right, I am raging. So Hector is going to full sprint chase the caterers that ran out the tent. So I guess I'll come out the tent. I'll see that Zurabak has finished one, and I will run. I would like to tackle and pin.
Fantastic. You rush up to this caterer. Just as Zurabak is cutting down the one on the left, you surge forward with your powerful barbarian legs, moving with the swiftness of a cheetah over the singed cobblestones, and in a mindless rage surge forward and try to tackle this goon. Roll me a touch attack, sir.
18.
Yeah, you absolutely make contact. Opposed grapple checks.
21.
Yeah, you win out. You rush forward and wrap your arms around this goon, and you bear them to the ground. You hit them like a comet, sweeping them off their feet and slamming them against the cobblestones outside of the tent. You got this goon. They struggle feebly under you as they try to escape, but you're full in the blood rage now, and you got the hooks in MMA terms, and you just completely controlling this guy's movement. Fantastic. And that brings us to Rilla Longshadow. Rilla, you're still cackling, I assume, inside this burning tent.
I'm probably swaying slightly, more like, and just kind of surveying what I did while everyone walked out and left me alone.
Yes. Yeah, the second you blew everyone up, everyone else just streamed out of the tent. And there's a bunch of commotion, screaming going on outside. And yeah, the tent is burning all around you. What do you do?
Good job, Rilla. Pat myself on the back. You hold this team together. And then I run out of the tent towards my companions, obviously.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you run out of tent. You see what I just described. It's bedlam out here. There are caterers rushing in every direction. It seems like they're all pretty intent on just fucking escaping. You don't see that anyone else is like drawing steel, but they are mixed in with all the other patrons pushing in a desperate rush to get away from the fire and get away from this event.
I cast magic missile to cripple 4 of them in the legs a little bit. I want to make them trip and fall.
That's fun. Yeah, you cast magic missile. You make how many bolts?
What am I at this point? Yeah, I'm at 4. So I just shoot four of them out.
Sweet. Roll damage. 4d4. Add 1 to every bolt.
2, 4, 2, and 2. So mostly minimums.
Yeah, so the great thing about Magic Missile, as some of our listeners may not know, but you fucking should, you nerds. What are you doing? Magic Missiles don't miss.
Yes, insult the listeners.
Rilla rushes out of the... Rilla sways drunkenly out of the tent and waves her hand, and 4 beautiful elven arrows made of arcane force spring from her fingertips, zip around this party, and find 4 bespoke caterers and hit them right in the legs and, trip them up. They go bowling over some chairs. One of them flips backwards over the bar, and 2 more of them fall into a large table and flip the whole fucking thing over as they're trying to scramble out.
I laugh.
Oh no, was the wedding cake on that table?
It was. The wedding cake flies about 10 feet up in the air and comes crashing down on the diviner's head.
No.
She wipes gobs of her wedding cake off of her face and like takes off the blindfold, the silk scarf around her eyes to like clean frosting off of it.
Where's Ruger? I look for him after this happened.
Yeah, Ruger standing next to Captain Kurz and Shira, who is dressing him down even more than he already is dressed down.
Weird.
Screaming about how she just wanted a wedding. And it is at this point that you hear the diviner say, "Just one day. That's all we wanted. I suppose that's too much to ask. Well, I've had quite enough of this," and she snaps her fingers, and dozens and dozens of these small blue orbs appear over the diviner's head, and they start spiraling outward from her in this chaotic like ballet streaming out, and one of these blue orbs hovers over each of these caterers as they start streaming out of this party en masse, and she says, "My prying eyes shall follow every single one of these suspect caterers. Not a single one of them will evade my notice, and thus not a single one of them will evade capture. Kurz, will you please have your men follow the orbs and take care of it?" "Yes, of course. I'll get the boys right on it. Boys, you heard the diviner. Round them up!" The diviner turns to stand next to Shira as she's dressing down Rugen and says, "Mr. Firehide, I assume there's a explanation for why these caterers are running over our party members and why you're naked?"
Yeah. There's definitely an explanation, and I'd really love to give it to you. And I will, but, Shira, I think you and I are in agreement that, I mean, this is like the second worst wedding you've ever been to, right? Like, I mean, it's still... So, all I'm saying is there's still some wedding to salvage here. I mean, why don't we try and pick up what pieces are... We don't need caterers. Hell, I'll bartend. I'm dressed for the part. And, I'll tell you a tale.
Shira looks absolutely fucking livid at this. She turns beet red. She crosses her arms and sucks in a deep breath like she's about to go on another fucking tirade. And then she starts to laugh. It's a small, lilting laugh that turns into a deep chuckle, and she looks around at the fucking chaos and like bends over double, laughing hysterically. And then she stands up and looks at the diviner, her new partner, and she runs a finger along the diviner's cheek, taking a scoop of frosting, sticks it in her mouth, and says, "You know what, sweetheart? Firehide's right. This is the second worst wedding I've ever been to. We can work with this. We can work with this. Firehide, you and your weird magic friends, you fix this shit right fucking now. I'm gonna be at the bar with my wife, and y'all fix this shit. Kurz, get on it." And Kurz takes a whistle from underneath his military jacket and blows, and you hear this trilling whistle repeated at several points all around this party. And a fucking wall of city guardsmen and knights from the Order of the Quill in their shining breastplates just start marching in and taking these fucking caterers down. With these blue orbs from the diviner hovering over all of their heads, not a single one of them is able to get away. And in short order, they have been beaten back, rounded up, and the rest of the partygoers, the actual guests here, have sort of coalesced in the center of this courtyard while a ring of guards is throwing these goons in handcuffs. There is a small island of peace in this chaos, which is the bar, which is now untended except for Shira and the diviner, who are holding hands with their heads close together, giggling as they try to wash the cake off of the diviner's face. What do you guys do? Hector, you got a goon under you.
When they start rounding up the caterers, I hand him over to a guard, like all caterers should be done with. Who just tackle them to the ground and then take them to the nearest city guard.
You heard it here first, folks. This is an anti-caterer podcast. Always has been, always will be. I'm glad we're getting this shit out in the open. Okay? Party Down wasn't good as everyone said it was. Okay? And I'm here to fucking tell you. So yeah, Hector, you hand your goon off to a guard. Zurabak, what are you doing? With Thaddeus now dead and the goons that jumped you dead as well, what do you do, Zurabak?
Oh, shit. Snake. Shit. Oops. He'll be fine.
Snake slithers out from under one of the other catering tents that is not on fire. He slithers through the legs of a large group of knights from the Order of the Quill who are dumping, who are just
through the legs. You mean around them? He is huge.
Around them. Sorry. He moves like a freight train made of meat around the legs of these knights from the Order of the Quill who have just finished putting out the fire Rilla started, and moves over to you with an entire side of beef wedged in his mouth that he's slowly gulping down.
Priorities. You're right, Snake. And Zurabak goes back to feasting.
There's a bunch of discarded silver trays with aperitifs on them, some amuse-bouches, some hors d'oeuvre, and yeah, you start feasting. Rilla, what do you got?
I cast prestidigitation to make myself impeccably clean. Check the ruff of my peacock dress.
You remove every scrap of soot, every flake of ash that had the audacity to assail your fucking designer gown, and you are immaculately clean.
I glance around to see if there's any no longer on fire alcohol I can grab, but I probably just head to the bar, because I helped, man.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yep. So yeah, we can say that while Zurabak is feasting, Hector, Rilla, and Ruger, you all make your way to the bar where Shira and the diviner are feasting. Or giggling, sorry.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah, what's up?
Before parting ways with Captain Kurz, I pull him just a little to the side and tell him, Kurz,
if you do me a favor and pick up Faustin as well, we might have a couple questions for him.
Of course. I'll have the guards start searching the party and see if we can't pick him out. Shall I have him meet you at the bar?
Yeah, and if you could have one of those guards of yours fetch me a fresh pair of loins, I'd appreciate it.
Of course. Montgomery, take your pants off now. Now, Montgomery. One of the knights from the Order of the Quill quickly drops Trow and throws a pair of slacks your way.
Please tell me he's a dwarf. Please.
Yeah, I mean he is now, no. Beth. Yes, he is now. This is communal storytelling.
Why would he pick Montgomery then, when clearly Gregory is the better fit? Look at
he's lowest on the totem pole. Come on.
I don't care. I'm not. I'm a protagonist, and I demand pants that fit.
It's just like capris. Like, that's all.
No, it's not.
They're stylish man prees. They look great on you. You put them on.
Like cargo shorts. It's cool.
None of any of those things you said are stylish, so...
Okay, Montgomery, put your pants back on. Put your pants back on. Sorry, protagonist. Jones, drop Trow. Now, Jones. Jones, now. And a well-fitting pair of pants is given to you, and a well-fitting shirt by a different member of the Knights of the... You are provided with some clothing.
Nice. I feel good about it.
And so, yeah, you all coalesce at the bar while Captain Kurz goes about his work.
Hector orders around for everyone and starts
Ruger pours them because there's no help staff anymore.
That's right.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
And starts to go into telling a story, not one from like the history books, but one from Hector's personal life. He starts to tell the story of his cousin's wedding, which, similar to this one, just lots of things went wrong that day. They wanted to have the ceremony out on like this like, I don't know my terms for like pieces of land in mountains, but like a big flat part on like a mountain range. I know there's a term for that. I just can't think of it.
Like a plateau or a...
Yeah. Like a plateau. And a mountain goat stampede like just happened to go through in the middle of the ceremony. Just like a lighthearted story about like a disastrous wedding that Hector has attended in the past.
I like that. That's got like almost youth pastor vibes. Like, this reminds me of a story when I had hardship in my life. Roll a perform check, you fucking bard.
Now's also the good time to bust out all the alcohol Hector brought.
Yes.
22.
Holy shit. That's quite a story. You are able to, as you order a drink and Ruger starts pouring, you tell this lovely little anecdote, and you can see that Shira and the Diviner both like visibly calm down a little bit. They giggle, they're holding hands, and they finish cleaning all the gunk off of the Diviner's face. And they both like sigh after a fit of laughter at the end of your story, and they say, "Well, Ruger, I guess I should have fucking known better, huh? Invite your ex to your wedding, you're just gonna get drama. I didn't think it'd be setting shit on fire. I thought that part of your life was behind you, but I guess you're just full of surprises. Now, does someone want to tell me what the fuck is going on?"
Ruger can't even light a cigarette. The fire is me, ladies. Come on now.
Oh, well, excuse me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lady, for setting my fucking wedding on fire. That's great.
You're so welcome that I stopped you from getting poisoned. You're welcome.
While they're bickering a little bit, Ruger takes the time to pour himself a shot of whiskey, but then just set it to the side for narrative use later.
Okay? Once Zurabak thinks of something, he goes to Kurz.
Yes.
I want their poison.
I'm sorry?
It was delicious.
Sure, right, yes. Well, after we figure out what the fuck happened here and get everyone into custody, I'm sure we'll see about getting you any recovered poison. Certainly, I guess.
Zurabak nods in approval and walks back away.
You're just gonna use it for you, right? Zurabak? You're just gonna use it for you? I'm sure he's just gonna use it for him. Yeah, Ruger, you pour yourself a shot and put it to the side. Yeah, and Shira and the Diviner are like, what the fuck's this about? Poison? What poison? What are y'all talking about?
Well, you see, this whole wedding was sort of kind of a little bit hijacked by a two-bit gangster, and the catering crew was actually a gang of armed assassins with wyvern poison daggers, from my understanding. They might have indiscriminately started killing people. Had we not intervened, did what we needed to do to bring them to justice, as evidenced all around you.
The Diviner shakes her head and says, an entire gang of assassins? My word, Shira, I knew you had a checkered past, but I can't believe someone would go to all this trouble just to harm you. I certainly don't have anyone brutish enough that I've double-crossed that would come at me like this. This is terrible. Who would want to hurt Shira or myself this badly?
Well, actually, didn't really have too much to do with either of you. Unfortunately, you were just victims by proxy. This whole thing was orchestrated by a man who I may have run afoul of a few years back, and I suppose comeuppance was due, and that debt needed to be paid today, as it turns out.
Ruger Firehide, are you telling me that one of your arch nemesis ran up in my wedding to hurt you?
I pour another one.
Shower, just take a drink. And I pour another one.
No. Fuck the drink, Ruger. This is so typical. The job always comes first, doesn't it, Ruger? This is why. This is why it never worked out. I invite you to my special day, and someone from your past comes and ruins my wedding. I swear to God.
Well, now, ruin's a strong term, Shira. I gotta say, at the end of the day, wedding was a success. Y'all got hitched. And, you got some stories to go with it, including a lovely little tale told by my friend and Bard here. So, from my eyes, it looks like a whole lot of wins.
Shira takes the shot that you put in front of her, downs it in one go, and the Diviner takes a deep breath. Well, I suppose we got what we asked for when my beautiful, delightful, angelic betrothed requested I not use my considerable powers of divination during our special day. Sweetheart, I could have ferreted this out before it even became a problem. Shira says, don't you fucking come at me too now. I'm not gonna get this from both ways. Not today, all right? The Diviner says, no, of course not. You're right. You're right, of course. I suppose we should focus on the positive. No one that we care about died. These ne'er-do-wells have been rounded up. We've busted up, apparently, a rather sizable gang of evil caterers. Ooh. I'll never trust a caterer again for all my days. Not that I trusted them too much before this, but,
Smart.
Nice. See, now I'm buying into the narrative.
There's one other thing that I feel has not yet been explained that I would like very much to be explained here.
And what's that, Hector? And I look at him with I narrow my eyes as I look down at him.
Where'd your pants go?
Yeah, I'd kind of like to know that myself, Ruger. Why the fuck are you naked walking out of a burning tent?
Well, again, the burning tent was definitely not my idea. That was, thank you, Rilla, as covered before. The naked part also wasn't really my idea,
but I did kind of go along with it. That that gangster I was talking about earlier, he carved the clothes right off of me. I mean, it was a very riveting experience. But yeah, he took them and burned them along with all the rest of my belongings and everything I've ever cared about in this world. Took my horse too. Yep, it was good times.
You're telling me that you've lost everything you own?
Yep. Yeah, he literally even carved the clothing off my back. Raided my room in the college, as it turns out. Took liberty of my horse out of the stables. And, yeah, burned everything that's ever materially mattered to me.
Ruger, why would he do that?
Well, he's a bad guy, and I crossed paths with him at a time when he was being a bad guy, and...
Well, did you take his ass out at least? Is he around here?
He's, in the wind, as it turns out.
You let this motherfucker get away after he stole the drawers from your ass? What the fuck, Ruger?
Well, I mean, it was a complicated situation, and at the time I was worried about your wedding. I was concerned that there were caterers with poison daggers. Basically, daggers held at your throat while he was interrogating me. It was a very complex time. And at the end of it, yes, he walked away unscathed, and I walked away unclothed.
So what, did you let him, get away so he wouldn't hurt us?
Yeah, that's about the long and short of it.
Shira crosses her arms and heaves a sigh. God damn it, Ruger.
Yeah.
God damn it. So...
Sorry about it, Shira. And I take that second shot I poured, and I put it in front of her as this time like a peace offering a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, Shira.
The diviner says, so you were spirited away from this party. You were deprived of every earthly possession, and you let the perpetrator go in order to make sure that no ill befell our nuptials.
Mm-hmm.
As frustrating as this all is, and how much I now wish I had not extended the invitation, Mr. Firehide, I must admit to some slight begrudging admiration for your moral fortitude, that you acted to keep us safe is laudable.
Rilla just starts blowing bubbles loudly in her cup because this woman's being a dick.
She sniffs at you. Quite, yes, well.
Well, listen, ladies, I'll say this. This is definitely second worst wedding I've ever been to. And I, for one, had a lovely time. I'm grateful that you invited me. I'm grateful that you allowed me to bring my friends and fellow protagonists. And at the end of the day, I am so supremely happy for the both of you. So hopefully, for all the chaos and shenanigans, hopefully when all's said and done, you remember what matters, which is that through the darkness, you found each other's light. Do me a favor and don't lose it.
Ruger, that was almost sweet enough to make me forget this is the second time I've seen you butt-ass naked in public at a wedding.
Yeah, well, you see, but Anne Maria, I mean...
Yeah. As you all break the tension with some laughter and regale each other with stories of disastrous weddings past, the town guard and the Knights of the Order of the Quill finish rounding up all of these despicable, debauched, really inhuman caterers, clapping them in irons, taking their poison daggers from them, and marching them in a long line to the prison in the depths of Grotmire. The Wedding guests themselves make hasty exits, eager to be away from the calamity. Everyone leaves except for the orchestra, which the diviner convinces to stay on. And they play a beautiful series of songs for the diviner and Shira as they dance the rest of the night away on the night of their wedding. As Shira and the diviner enjoy a night of dancing in the fiery remnants of their wedding, you all grab a couple bottles of booze and go back to the college to drink. What do you guys do?
Hector makes a quick stop off in his room. Hey, just to check because they ransacked our friend's room. Hey, how's my room?
Completely untouched.
Okay. I retrieve something from my room and go meet to wherever we are drinking at.
Hector, you know the perfect spot for this. There is a beautiful balcony tucked in the back corner of the College of Whispers that looks over the lake, Lake Danum, that the college itself is backed up against. And on a clear, beautiful night like this, with the moon full-bodied reflecting off the slowly rippling waters of Lake Danum, you all have the perfect perch to enjoy some drinks.
Hey, Zurabak, are you with us?
Probably not.
Okay.
Kitchens, I assume.
Dude says Zurabak went back.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Still eating silver plates, watching two ladies dance.
We'll get to Zurabak. We'll explain. Yes, he's still hoovering all the appetizers. In the background, Zurabak's just crawling around eating pigs in a blanket while these two ladies dance.
Fucking potatoes, kids.
Off the ground.
All right, back to the balcony.
So Hector comes out and sits down next to Ruger, and I pull a small sack from my side, and I throw it down in front of you, and you can hear the jingling of coins. Zurabak doesn't ever accept his cut of any of our jobs. He's never going to use this gold. I hold on to it for him, but he's never going to use it. So, maybe this can help.
How much is it?
I have for Zurabak written down 7,099 gold and 6 silver.
God damn. That is 10 times the amount of money I had.
Yeah, but you also spent it on stuff.
That's all gone, right? Like, all my money is gone too?
Every single item on your entire character sheet is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta buy armor and weapons, all that shit.
Yeah.
Clothes, basic supplies.
Damn.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just get to erasing. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm actually just gonna make a new character sheet. It's a good time to take advantage of a refresh.
Fantastic.
Although I won't be able to fill out the weapons section until I go shopping. Anyways, we're on a balcony.
Wearing another man's pants.
How do you respond to this generous gift?
I take the gold and weigh it in my hand for a second and look to Hector and Rilla and say, "You all are good friends. Thank you." And the teenager's like, "Fuck, I'm out of here." Like, I
Rilla
can't
just
handle
sits
it.
down on the balcony next to you and doesn't say shit, because you don't need to talk, I don't think. She just brought more drinks, I'd say.
As this weighty moment passes between you and you all enjoy this comfortable moment of silence with Ruger weighing this heavy bag of gold in his hand and Rilla passing Ruger a drink on the other side, you do all have a slight twinge in your memory. And Ruger, you specifically remember a halfling woman, her hair done up in a bun, standing on the other side of a campfire from you, and revealing a card that you drew. Ruin, Firehide. You've drawn ruin. Meanwhile, back at the party, as Zurabak is hoovering up the last of the hors d'oeuvres abandoned by these cursed caterers, Captain Kurz does approach you and whispers in respect to the women dancing. Zurabak, we've recovered some of this poison. Quite a bit of it, actually. I found 5 sizable vials of the stuff. It looks pretty nasty. This is just for personal consumption, right, Zurabak?
It tastes very minty. I enjoyed the flavoring.
Oh, well, that's fine then. Just please, Zurabak, please don't share. Please.
I mean, you sure? That seems rude.
Positive, Zurabak, for once, just do what I expect you to do, and selfishly...
Hector always tells me to share.
Please, just keep it for you, please.
I mean, maybe if you ask real nicely, I'll share, but don't worry.
And then, Ruger, you return to your room.
I'm going back to my room at the college. And after everything's said and done, after all of the conversations and the jokes and the stories and me walking away with, oddly enough, a bottle of whiskey in hand as I look back over my shoulder at Shira and the diviner dancing. Like, after all's said and done, late in the night, Ruger pours himself a shot of whiskey. And he sits there and stares at it for a while. And genuinely mulls on what he's actually lost today. Because I think right off the bat, he put up the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ruger sits there and stares at that shot of whiskey for like a solid half hour. And then he lights up a cigarette. He takes a couple drags of that cigarette and gets a nice good head of ash on it. Then he ashes it into the shot. And then he puts out that cigarette. And he toasts a Navi and then shoots the shot.
And that is where we end. Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our characters' frustrations, motivations, characterizations, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this part of the show, we like to ask each of our protagonists a question and see if we can't unlock some deeper truth about them. The question for today is, I think, a fairly interesting one. I think we'll get some pretty dynamic answers from our heroes on this. The question for today is, if you could trade lives with anyone, who could it be? Each of our protagonists has lived a fairly storied life, though far removed from the other ones. Each has undergone their own triumphs, their own failures, their own transformations. And I'm curious what they'd be willing to give up, or who they envy enough to switch lives with them. So that is our question. If you could switch lives with anyone, who would it be? We'll start with Rilla Longshadow. Rilla, thank you once again for coming to the studio. How are you today?
Rilla zooms in on her rollerblades, and beside her comes Rutherford doing that horrible cat prance, like kitten mittens kind of style, but in rollerblades.
You put 4 rollerblades on Rutherford, and he is awkwardly flailing, high-stepping in these rollerblades.
And to my gang, how you doing? Don't worry, we'll get it down.
Your Rutherford seems incredibly uncomfortable, but I guess you know best. Oh, that is tough to look at. The poor. I can't even sit down. Oh no. Well, you've definitely picked a side. I can see that. I know how important it is to accessorize with your familiar. He can only talk to you, so I'm sure he's enjoying it. But we'll never know, will we? We'll never know. In any event, Rilla Longshadow, the question for today is: if you could trade lives with anyone, who would it be? This could be anyone, a specific individual from your life, or just the a random, archetypal existence, it could be a specific person or a subset of peoples. If you could trade lives with anyone, who would it be?
Question, host.
Yes.
Do we both know the change has happened?
What change is that?
The change of lives. Do we both know? Or do I know? Or do we just...
That's interesting. So you're talking about sort of like I suppose you wouldn't know what this is, but the listeners at home will, sort of a Freaky Friday situation where you're saying that your consciousness is instantly transposed into another person's body.
We live in a world where magic exists, so yeah, that was what I was thinking.
That is not at all the intention of this question, but this is far too interesting to turn down. Yes, you're both aware of the change.
And at what point in my life would they go back to? Current? Past?
If we're going to use this incredibly loose definition of the original question right now, we're right now as you are now.
Well, that makes it more difficult. I wouldn't mind them knowing if we started our lives over. But see, my argument was going to be, there's no one I would willingly put in my place. At least no one that isn't inherently evil. So I was going to say Varix and let him suffer the way I suffered for so long.
At the hands of the elders and their invasive experiments.
And since I already kind of have a death wish, a little bit, like it wouldn't be that hard to save the world that way. That'd be kind of a win-win. But if it's now, then he's free and able to kill the rest of my friends as me. So that doesn't really work, does it? This is quite the pickle. I don't think I could trade with anyone, unfortunately.
Well,
no one else deserves this.
That is quite the telling answer. I'm a bit flabbergasted. I did not see that coming. I think that your reasons absolutely make sense. It is interesting that you have been through a lot. You've suffered quite a bit through your childhood with the constant experimentation of the elders, trying to unlock the secrets of the magic in your blood, the isolation, the tension, the ostracizing from your community. I'm sure that was a hard road to hoe. I think it speaks quite a bit to your character that you wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah, and I'm not safe yet, which is why I can't trade with, like, a random, Like, death is still coming for me, so...
You're referring, of course, to the prophetic card drawn by Inga Hilltopple, the death card.
Correct, sir. I can't leap out of my body and let someone else die in my place. Unless they deserve it. But if they deserve it, then they're probably evil enough that they'd make things worse. So I'm kind of stuck here.
Well, I have to say, Rilla, that is quite telling, very, very revealing that you view your life, your destiny, as so harrowing, so potentially hazardous that you wouldn't wish anyone else your fate. I do feel a little, what's the right word? Sympathy for your predicament. This was, of course, not the original intention of the question, but I do like the way you've changed it around on us, and I appreciate your candor. So if you could trade lives with anyone right now, swap minds into a different body, you would not resign anyone to the fate that awaits you.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I'm not that evil.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
And then I push my cat out because I'm trading him to Rollerblade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that an excellent answer. Thanks, Rilla. Thanks. Okay. Wow, that is one radical cat. Well, anyway, I suppose we're just gonna keep going. I'm curious how our other protagonists will take this question themselves. Hector, the gatekeeper, keeper of the gates. How are you, sir?
Hector walks in holding a pristine skateboard. Does not look like it's ever been used, but it's real cool. There's like real cool decals, put like lightning bolts on the wheels.
Hector, I've seen you've brought your skateboard here. It seems you're definitely not on the rollerblade side of things, I can't help but notice that those wheels don't look like they've touched cement or the ground ever. Are you saving it for a special occasion, or?
Yeah, I haven't found the right surface yet. You know,
Of course, a very hard decision. Of course.
in order to skate truly free, not only do we have to stay out of the confines of things wrapped around our feet, but also of traditional asphalt.
Of course. Wow, that's some really transcendent thinking when it comes to the world of skate. Sounds like you've really worked out a personal philosophy. That's fascinating. Well, beside all that and the fucking half pipe that's taken up half my studio, the question for today is, Hector, if you could trade lives with someone, who would it be?
Interesting. Now, would they be aware that we switched?
Yes, I can see.
Is it like
okay.
a Freaky Friday kind of situation?
I can see the original intention of this question's gone out the window. So yes, Hector, what we're talking about is a Freaky Friday situation where you would swap brains with someone and inhabit their body and they'd inhabit yours right now as it is currently, and you'd both be aware of it. Let's say in that scenario, if you could trade lives with someone, who would it be?
Well, I think the only answer I could give you is Billy.
And who is Billy?
Billy is a goat that lives in my village.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So you would trade lives, swap bodies with a goat from the mountain range known as the Gate, where your people live?
Yes, that's...
Why?
Oh, see, you didn't ask... Okay. So, have you ever had to be a hero?
I think that our shared history would point emphatically in the negative on that score.
Something they don't tell you in the stories kind of sucks. It's hard, a lot of responsibility, a lot of shitty things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Billy's greatest worry is?
I can't imagine. Please, enlighten me.
Which side of the canyon he's going to eat grass on today.
Of course.
He just leaps around the mountains free. Nothing holding him back.
Well, that does sound like it'd be quite freeing. I guess that makes sense. So you are longing for an escape from the responsibility, the untimely deaths, the danger, the disappointment, the betrayals of a hero life, to frolic amongst the mountains you grew up in?
Yes, and should the world have need of me once more, first of all, my body's in good hands.
Sure.
You know, Billy knows how to run into things, and that's kind of mostly what I do.
I suppose your head is hard. I guess you could still do some damage, yes.
And, well, that's B being that me in Billy's body also, like, if I needed to, I still have horns. I have horns, so I can still kick some ass, but I don't have to.
I guess that's true as well. We have seen gatekeeper goats do some serious damage. You know, Hector, I'm starting to think that might be a better reality than the one we're living in now. That's a lot to think about. I really appreciate that answer. Very revealing. And I guess I just wish Billy well wherever he is. Whichever side of the valley he's chosen, you could say.
The goats had it right, man. The goats had it right.
Well, Hector, we appreciate your answer, and we hope to see you next time. Oh, were you not going to skate out of here, Hector? Oh, this isn't the right terrain for that. I'm sorry.
It's not. You get it.
Right. This isn't the right terrain. Okay. Understandable. Well,
it's not organic concrete.
Sure. Not that farm to table stuff that you crave. Okay. Well, until next time. Poser! I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. Next up, we have Ruger Firehide, lawman extraordinaire. Ruger, welcome back to the studio. How are you?
Ruger skates in on a longboard. His hair is just starting to slightly get dreaded, and he's got some spray cans. in his hand, and he rolls up and says, "Howdy, host. Don't mind if I just work on my craft." And then I begin tagging the table between me and the host with a depiction of a snake on a skateboard.
Well, Ruger, that's quite a gnarly rig you got there. Seeing you going for the vintage longboard. Much respect on that. Now I've noticed you. I've noticed.
Click, 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 click.
I've noticed you started tagging. Sharon, can we get a fan? Sharon, can we get a fan in here? Oh God! So I've noticed you started tagging. Is that Zurabak snake on a skateboard that you're tagging there?
Absolutely. Snake really knows how to shred on the half pipe. Honestly, it's an inspiration.
I mean, I've never seen anyone shred as hard as Snake does. That's definitely for sure. I didn't realize he was already a logo. That's like very well crafted graphic design there. I'm very surprised.
I've been working on it between runs, or whatever you call, these the half pipe tricks that I've gotten incredibly good at. But yes, this is
Snake's really got a cult of personality going here. Okay.
yeah, and it's all about branding.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, let's if you could maybe put those down for just a second, because we have a question, as usual. The question for today, Ruger Firehide, is if you could trade lives with someone, who would it be? And for the record, what we're talking about here...
I don't need you to explain to me the question. It's very obvious that the implication is that I just swap lives from, like, birth, right? Like, it would just, from the get-go, trade lives, never the wiser, never was I once Ruger Firehide. Instead, I'm now this guy, right? It's clearly...
Absolutely. Ruger, I've never loved you more than I love you right now. That is exactly the question. That is exactly the implication. Please give me your answer.
What else could it even mean? Like,
I don't even want to get into that, Ruger.
Stupid Freaky Friday thing? I don't... Come on. So listen, the answer's easy. All right? The answer's easy. But you gotta swear to me, host, that you'll never tell him, okay?
Sure.
My answer is Hector the Gatekeeper.
Hector the Gatekeeper! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Click.
Look, I'm sorry. Oh, witness me. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
Sorry. It got me real bad.
Having fun in this segment. Okay, so if you could trade lives with anyone, if you could start your life again as a different person, you'd be Hector the Gatekeeper?
Oh, absolutely. Now hear me out, okay? Hector has this, like, childlike naivety to him. He's got this youthful wonderment about the way in which he looks at the world. And so I envy a little bit of that lightheartedness. And despite some more recent circumstances in his life, I also envy the fact that, Hector has been spared some of the darker past that his companions carry with them.
Right.
And then lastly, I also choose Hector because I'm not one to shirk my destiny or my duty, and even if I don't remember what that is, I still feel honor-bound to follow the cause, follow the path, and Hector's walking that path too, so if I'm not walking it in my body, I'll walk it in his.
Wow. That is incredibly touching. And wow, so that shows a great deal of the respect you have for Hector on both sides. Not only do you, on some level, maybe envy, if that's not too strong a word, the life he's lived, the sense of community, the family, the open, pure heart that he has, and also you trust his moral fortitude in carrying out the important work that you've dedicated your life to. That is a very surprising and lovely answer. I think that shows a lot of respect and a lot of appreciation for who Hector is as a person. I'm very surprised to hear it.
Well, to me the answer seemed obvious, but I'm glad it's enlightened your day, host. Now, if you don't mind, I have some more tagging to get to. I mean, the whole studio is painfully devoid of snakes on skateboards, and I intend to rectify that.
Do you skate out of there?
Then I skate out of there.
It's important. You gotta tag it.
And I skate out of there. I fucking skate out of there with one dreadlock blowing in the wind behind me.
Sharon, we're gonna need some paint remover. Sharon, it's not the whole studio. Oh God. Oh no. Sharon, get that fan out of here. You're drying the paint. I need the remover. Don't look at me like that. Okay. I can see where this is going. All right, last but not least, we have King of the Shocker Lizards, Champion of the Goats, Emperor of the Rats, and the Duke of the Isle of Neho, Zurabak the Unburned. Zurabak, welcome back to the studio.
Pleasure to be here.
Is it really?
No.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Zurabak, we have our normal, back and forth to get through. The chemistry, as always, is electric right off the bat. The question for today, Zurabak, is if you could trade lives with anyone, who would it be? And you know what? Just take that however you will.
Bigger Zurabak.
Okay.
Like mountain-sized Zurabak.
Okay. So...
breathing fire on all the weak peasants.
Gotcha. So
and all the weak mountains that challenged Zurabak.
So what you've envisioned...
Zurabakzilla? Zurzilla?
Right.
Yes.
So you've imagined a kaiju form of your current self, and you would want to trade lives with this imagined construct of your own creation.
Yeah. We'd both have a great time.
As horrifically terrifying as that would be for every living soul on whatever planet we're discussing.
Right?
I can say with at least a surprising amount of delight that this question has undergone every possible interpretation. So what I thought was a pretty simple question has now been answered in every possible way it could. Great.
Oh, you're just upset no one wanted to be you.
Oh no, why would anyone want to be me? I have to interview
right?
Zurabak. I wouldn't wish this fate on anyone. Okay.
Also, you just lose your clothes way too often.
I wear nonstick pants. It's very important for my work here. You know that.
And they really should up your medication.
Don't talk about my medication, Zurabak. It happens to a lot of guys, and I don't know why the fuck you're bringing that up anyway. Sharon, did you tell about my prescriptions? Listen, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it.
Teenage animals got a hold of them, and they're just, really going to town.
Zurabak, did you let Snake's gang of animal skaters into my fucking medicine cabinet?
Listen, they're not my gang. They're Snake's gang. I didn't let them do anything. Snake let them do that.
Look,
apparently, you're a bad influence on them.
Zurabak, I will freely admit, okay? I would admit under oath, hand on the Bible, that your snake is the most radical reptile I've ever fucking seen in my life, okay? That is not up for debate. But that tiger is on some pills right now that no mammal of that size should be on, and we have to evacuate this entire studio right now. Thank you for listening to As the Dice Turns. We gotta go now, so keep those dice turning. Sharon, get the net! Sharon!
Click, 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 click.
Hey there, dear listeners. It's Sam the DM checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Challenge Rating Zero is edited by Audius Prime, aka Matt Sims. You can find more information about him and his services at audiusprime.com. Music for Challenge Rating Zero, including our beautiful intro, was provided by the harp wolf Danielle Williams. You can find her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. There you will find her album, Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? It is delightful. I highly recommend it. Additional music for Challenge Rating Zero is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including how to get his album, Age of the Spirit, which is also quite a banger. We'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Check them out at shopapotheosis.com. If you're in the St. Louis area, they got 2 locations. No reason you shouldn't check them out for comics, drinks, gaming of all types. You might even run into yours truly. If you'd like to contact us here at Challenge Rating Zero, you can find us on Twitter at challenge_ZERO. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram at Challenge Rating Zero. You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/CR_ZERO. We got a little bonus content on there, and we're working on getting more. And if you have any questions for our As the Dice Turns segment, you can email us at challengerating0@gmail.com. Any questions we receive will be read on the show, so go ahead and hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. I would also like to plug my own website, samthedm.com. If anyone out there is looking to hire a DM for you and your group, I'm available for one-shots if you're in the St. Louis area. If you are not in the St. Louis area, we can do stuff over the intranets. samthedm.com for all your DMing needs. Thank you all so much for listening to the show. We are rolling right along here, and moving swiftly to our next little arc. I hope you'll join us. The next episode will be released on June 20th, and I hope you will join us then. Thank you all so much for listening. Till next time. Bye.